back to my channel. It's just Jame, and I'm just here trying to change your perspective. So, I read an article last week from the Associated Press, and I wanted to go through a couple of points in it. The title of the article is Doctors Grow Frustrated Over COVID-19 Denial and Misinformation, and they interviewed, I think it was 6 doctors from around the country and got their perspective about the different, quote, lies and misinformation that they've been hearing from their patients. I'm only going to talk about one of the, quote, lies or misinformation, and I just want you to think about this, because if they can lie about this, that is something so easily checkable, then what else are they lying about and manipulating and gaslighting us on? It says, the Associated Press asked 6 doctors from across the country to describe the types of misinformation and denial they see on a daily basis and how they respond to it. They described being aggravated at the constant request to be prescribed the veterinary parasite drug ivermectin, with patients lashing out at doctors when they are told that it's not safe as a coronavirus treatment. Further down in the article, it says, really, it amazes me the number of people who have this huge fear, conspiracy theory about vaccines and will honest to God try anything, including a veterinary medicine, to get better. So if you missed our last video, I talked about a little bit about ivermectin, the fact that it's been around for 70 years, it's been prescribed to humans for 30 years. It is, yes, anti-parasitic, it is also anti-inflammatory, antiviral, it reduces viral replication. It won a Nobel Peace Prize in 2015. It is currently listed on the NIH website for potential COVID treatments. There was an excellent study done in Argentina using 1,200 healthcare workers. Roughly 800 of them were given 12 milligrams of ivermectin once a week for 3 months. The control group was not. Out of the control group, 58% got COVID. Out of the group that got ivermectin prophylactically, 0 people got COVID. That's remarkable. Yet we continue to hear CNN, the Associated Press, all these other organizations talking about how this is horse dewormer. When Joe Rogan got COVID, he took ivermectin as well as a host of other drugs, and he basically beat it in a day or something crazy like that. And instead of celebrating it, it's almost like he was just mocked even more. And one of the arguments I hear the most is that, well, people are getting it from the drugstore. Well, the reason they're getting it from the drugstore is because responsible, respectable doctors are calling it horse dewormer, and they're making fun of it, and they're belittling it, and the American public is smart enough to know that it's working. Clearly it's working for some people. Clearly there's evidence for it. Why is the medical community so against it? Why are we constantly saying that it's just horse dewormer or veterinary medicine? And CNN has almost doubled down on this. They had Dr. Sanjay Gupta on Joe Rogan's podcast, and if you haven't watched that, that was a really good episode where Joe really grilled him and asked, why is your platform belittling and outright lying about this potential treatment? If we are truly so afraid of this virus, then we should be screaming from the rooftops any sort of thing that looks like a cure or a aid or a help of any kind. There is, again, I'll say there is more than one solution to any problem, and to quadruple down on this one therapy, this one treatment that so many people are skeptical of. And it's interesting because the people who are skeptical of the one therapy that we are being pushed into and dare I say forced into, there's a whole other population of people who are afraid of that aggression, who are on board with these other therapies. Why not let them be tried? Why not? These are all experiments. We are experimenting every single day. When you are receiving medicine, it is called practicing medicine for a reason, because nobody truly knows what the heck's going on. Every person is different. Every person responds differently. People die every single day from the right drug in the right dose for the right reasons at the right time. It happens. So we are truly just practicing medicine here. Why is there such pushback in the medical community of all the places for a potential already well-respected, known drug for its safety and for its broad spectrum? It's proven safe in pregnant women, in breastfeeding women. It's been used, I think it's been prescribed like a billion times, literally a billion times around the world, especially in third world countries and things like that. So I guess what I don't understand is if CNN and the Associated Press, I looked up the Associated Press rating, and it's considered to be one of the least biased publications. So why are they outright lying and still pushing this when we continue to know, and like I said before, it is on the NIH website that this is a potential treatment for COVID. So if they're lying about this, what are they lying about? About Hunter Biden, about climate control, our former President Trump, who they spent 4 years dragging through the mud? How can you possibly trust a publication when something so easily fact-checkable is blatantly being pushed and lied about? It's something that is detrimental to our country's health. If people understood that this, quote, horse dewormer veterinary drug could be used prophylactically and early on at the earliest signs of disease, then why on earth are we not excited about that and using that if this is truly such a dangerous and scary pandemic? Ask yourself that. If you watched one of my latest videos about why I quit my ER job, I talked about a nurse interaction that I had where a registered nurse at a level 3 trauma center walked up to me and a couple other nurses and made the comment, how can people have so little trust for the government but be willing to take horse dewormer? And I respectfully said, I told her about the Argentina study, about the 1,200 and 0 of the ivermectin group getting COVID, and I told her that it was a Nobel Prize-winning drug and that it really did have a lot of potential. And this woman literally did not acknowledge that I spoke, and she just walked away. It was like she just didn't even hear or register whatsoever that this could have been, and the disdain she had in her voice when she was talking about these people who don't trust the government. That's me. And yet her lack of interest in a potential solution for this thing that she's supposedly so crazy and so afraid of and so concerned about seeking a solution for. We're told there's only one solution, but regardless, if her unwillingness to acknowledge that there could be more than one option is really discouraging, and to me that's a perfect picture of how our medical community has viewed this drug. Isn't it a shame that our doctors and nurses think that they're so smart that they literally know everything there is to know about this, and if CNN says it's a horse dewormer, then that's the answer. It's clear that these people have not actually looked into ivermectin very thoroughly at all. And on that note, let me just say, if you are doing your own research, which I pray that you are, I pray that when you watch my channel that you immediately go and check the things that I'm saying. But if you do not use Google, use the search engine DuckDuckGo. It has been proven, we know for a fact that Google messes with their algorithms. A whistleblower from Google reported basically like a shadow list of things where they were suppressing information, including things about cancer cures, and long story short, we can't trust them to give us accurate information. When you look for something on Google, the search results are drastically different than what you'll find on DuckDuckGo. So if you are having trouble finding some of the things I'm talking about, go look for DuckDuckGo. They have an app. They work just like Google. It's a perfectly usable search engine. So just consider that. I'm just Jame. I'm just trying to change your perspective. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me know if you've taken ivermectin, because I know lots of people who have. I've heard of 0 negative side effects off of it. And so far, everyone I know that has taken it is still alive. So praise the Lord for that. Let me know how you have survived COVID-19, how you have beat the odds, or somebody that you know, if you have a story or something that you've heard. I'm just Jame, and I'm just trying to change your perspective.